All right. You probably got a pop-up just asking you if it's okay. Click yes, and if you don't think it's okay, then what can I tell you? Maybe, I don't know. All right. Erev Tov, everybody. Welcome to Bishvat 5782. And as our president just mentioned, we were very much hoping that we weren't going to do this way again this year. But we felt, given the circumstances, that this was the best route to take. And we hope that the upcoming celebrations in our community will be back in person. Purim in a couple of months away, Bishvat Hashem. And we have hopefully some really, really good things planned out for you, of course, followed by Pesach and our annual Hilula. There's a lot to do tonight, and I hope you got your platters in front of you. And but like last year, we are going to limit the Seder. We're not going to do a lot of the reading and a lot of the Zohar that's involved, because we are conscious of time, and we know that sitting in front of a computer for too long isn't so beneficial, not only to the eyes, but in general, it's not so good. So we're going to keep this as short as we can. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, live on Zoom. And without further ado, we are going to share the screen and going to display the Tu Bishvat Seder. No, not this page. We already did this page. For those that were here early, let's just exit this. For those that were here early, we played the famous piyut of Yafa V'Tama, which is a piyut that we sang this past Shabbat in Bet Knesset. It's one of the ksedot of Parashat Beshalach in the Bakashot. It has become a very, very popular song in Eretz Yisrael among the world of Paitanim, and we hope you enjoyed it, from the Paitan Binyamin Buzaglo. We did share this link with you on WhatsApp, but just in case, I'm going to do that right now in the chat, where everybody can see this. So if you have a computer, I believe that's the wrong way to do it. I'm going to do it this way. Give me a moment here. All right. So if you open the chat on your Zoom, you will see the link to this this document that you can open and follow with us live. All right. It also was sent out on our SKC WhatsApp group. In case you're not part of the SKC WhatsApp group, what are you waiting for? All the information is sent there real time, and please join. The links are in the weekly email bulletin that you can just click using your phone. And if you can't find it, feel free to text me privately or JC or any board member, and we'll be glad to share that link with you. All right. So here it is, Seder Tu Bishvat. We're going to begin with some excerpts from the Tanakh. Follow with me, and then we'll get into the eating, because we know everybody wants to eat some delicious fruit. Okay. I'm just going to eliminate the sounds. There we go. Get rid of that. Let's interrupt. Okay. ויאמר אלוהים יקבעו המים מתחת השמיים אל מקום אחד בתרעי היבשה, ויהי כן ויקרא אלוהים ליבשה ארץ ולמקווה המים קרא ימים, וירא אלוהים כי טוב, ויאמר אלוהים תדשא הארץ דשא עשב בזיע זרע עץ פרי עושה פרי למינו אשר זרע בו על הארץ, ויהי כן ותוצא הארץ דשא עשב מזריע זרע למינו ועץ עושה פרי אשר זרע בו למינו. וירא אלוהים כי טוב, ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום שלישי. כל המצווה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום תשמרו לעשות, למען תחיו ורביתם ובאתם ורישם את הארץ אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותיכם, וזכרת את כל הדרך אשר הוליכך אדוני אלוהיך זה 40 שנה במדבר, למען ענותך, לנסותך, לדעת את אשר בלבבך, התשמע מצוותיו אם לא ויענך, ויריבך, ויאכילך את המן אשר לא ידעת, ולא ידעון אבותיך, למען הודיעך, כי לא על הלחם לבדו יחיה האדם, כי היא הכל מוצא פי אדוני יחיה האדם, שמלהתך לא בלט מעליך, ורגלך לא בצקה, זה 40 שנה, וידעת עם לבבך, כי כאשר ייסר איש את בנו, אדוני אלוהיך מייסרך, ושמרת את מצוות אדוני אלוהיך, ללכת בדרכיו וליראותו, כי אדוני אלוהיך מביאך אל ארץ טובה, ארץ נחה למים עיינות ותמות יוסעים בבקעה ובהר, ארץ חיטה ושעורה וגפן ותנה ורימון, ארץ זית שמן ודבש, ארץ אשר לא במסכנות תאכל בה לחם לא תחסר כל בה, ארץ אשר אבניה ברזל ומהרריה תאסוף נחושת ואכלת ושבעת, וברכת את אדוני אלוהיך על הארץ הטובה אשר נתן לך, אם בחוקותיי תלכו ואת מצוותיי תשמרו ועשיתם אותם, ונתתי רשמכם בעיתם, ונתנה הארץ יבולה ועץ השדה ייתן פריו, וישיג לכם דיש את פציר ובשיא ישיג את זרע, ואכלתם לחמכם לשובע וישבתם לבטח מארצכם, ונתתי שלום בארץ ושכבתם בין מחרית והשפטים, היה רעה מן הארץ וחרב לא תעבור בארצכם, ורדפתם את אויביכם ונפלו לפניכם לחרב, ורדפו מכם 500 ו100 מכם לבבה ירדופו ונפלו אויביכם לפניכם לחרב, ופניתי עליכם והפרתי אתכם והרביתי אתכם, והקימותי את בריתי איתכם, ואכלתם ישן נושן וישן מפני חדש תוציאו, ונתתי משכני בתוככם, ולא תגעל נפשי אתכם, והתהלכתי בתוככם, והייתי לכם לאלוהים, ואתם תהיו לי לעם עניים. אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם ארץ מצרים להיות להם לעבדים, ואשבור מוטות לכם, והולך אתכם קוממיות. הללויה, כי טוב זמרה אלוהינו, כי נעים לבד תהילה. בוני ירושלים אדוני נדחי ישראל יכנס, הרופא לשבור אליהם ומחבש לעצב אותם, בוני מספר לכוכבים לכולם שמות תקרא, גדול אדונן ורב כוח לתבונתו אין מספר, מאוד אל הנביאים אדוני משפיע רשעים עדי הארץ, הנו לאדוני בתודה, זמרו לאלוהינו בכינור, המכסה שמיים באבים, המכין לארץ מטר, המצמיח הרים חציר נותן לי במלחמה, לבני עורב אשר יקראו לו בגבורת הסוס יחפץ, לא בשוקע איש יוצא רוצה אדוני את יראיו, את המייחלים לחסו שבחי ירושלים, את אדוני הללי אלוהיך ציון, כי חיזק בריחי שערייך, ברך בנייך בקרבך, השם גבולי שלום, חלב חיטים ישביעך, השולח אמרתו ארץ, עד מהרה ירוץ צווארו, הנותן שלקצה מן כפור כאפה יפרזר, משליך קרחו חפיתים לפני קרתו מי יעמוד, ישנת דברו וימסם, ישב רוחו יזלו מים, אגיד דבריו ליעקב חוקיו ומשפטיו לישראל לא עשה כן, לכל גוי ומשפטים ידעום, הללויה הללויה, הללו את אדוני מן השמיים, הללוהו במרומים, הללוהו כל מלאכיו, הללוהו כל צבאיו, הללוהו שמש וירח, הללוהו כל כוכבי אור, הללוהו שמי השמיים, והמים אשר מעל השמיים יהללו את שם אדוני, כי הוא ציווה ונבראו ויעמידם לה לעולם, חוק נתן ולא יעבור, הללו את אדוני מן הארץ, סנינים וכל תאומות, אש וברד שלווה קיטור, רוח שערה עושה דברו, הערים וכל גבעות, עץ פרי וכל ארזים, החיה וכל בהמה, רמס וציפור כנף, מלכי ארץ וכל לאומים, שרים וכל שופטי הארץ, בחורים וגם בתולות, זקנים נערים יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו, הודו על עץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לעמו, תהילה לכל חסידיו לבני ישראל עם קרובו, הללויה שיר המעלות בשוב אדוני את שיבת ציון, היינו כחולמים אז ימלא שחוק פינו שוננו רינה, אז יאמרו בגויים, הגדיל אדוני לעשות עמהם, הגדיל אדוני לעשות עמנו, היינו שמחים, שובה אדוני את שביתנו, כאפיקים בנגב, הזורעים בדמעם, ברינה יקצורו, הלוך ילך ובכל נושא משך הזרם, בוא יבוא ברינה, נושא אלומותיו, אנא האל העושה והיוצר והבורם, והמציל עולמות העליונים צורתם וצביונם, בראת דוגמתן על הארץ מתחת כולם, בחוכמה עשית העליונים למעלה ותחתונים למטה, לחבר את האוהל להיות אחד, ואילנות ודשאים מן האדמה יצמחנה בקומתם וצביונם של מעלם, להודיע לבני אדם חוכמה ותבונה בהמה, להשיג בנעלמים, ופקדת עליהם במשמרת מלאכיך הקדושים הממונים והמשתרים לגדילם לעצמכם, ועליהם תיטוב שפע וכוח מידותיך העליונות, ויעש פרי תבואה, וכל עץ פרי עושה פרי למינו, ומפרי מעשיך תשבע הארץ לאכול מפריה ולשבוע מטובה, להחיות בהם נפש כל חי, מן הכוח הרוחני אשר בהם מפריפים מלאכיך הקדושים הנותרים לפריו, וממנו פרי אחד נמצא שכר פרי הבטן, להחיות ולזון את הגוף, והיה פריו למאכל ועלהו לתרופה, וזה היום תחילת מעשיך, להכניתה ולחדשה, איש אבי בפריו עושה פרי למינהו, כי כן ימלאו ימי החנותים לפירות האילן, העליון עץ החיים אשר בתוך הגן, ועשה פרי למעלה, ירצו מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו ולא אבותינו, שבכל סגולת אכילת הפירות שנאכל ונברך עליהן, עתם, ואשר נגע בסוד שורשיהן העליונים, אשר הם תלויים בם להשפיע עליהם, שברצון ברכה ונדבם, וגם הממונים והמשטרים עליהן יתמלאו מעוסף ההודן לשוב שני להגדילם ולצמיחם, מראשית השנה ועד אחרית השנה, לטובה ולברכה, לחיים טובים ושלום, וקיים לנו את הדבר שהבטחתנו על ידי מלאכי חוזך, וגרתי בכם באוכל ולא ישית לכם את פרי אדמם, ולא תשקל לכם הגפן בשדה, אמר אדוני צבאות, השקיפה ממעון קודשך מן השמיים וברך עלינו את השנה הזאת לטובה ולברכה, תשיתהו ברכות לעד, תחדהו בשמחה את פניך, ונתנה הארץ יבולה ועץ השדה ייתן פריו, ועליהם תבוא ברכת טוב להתברך פירותיה במעין, אחד המרבה ואחד הממית, גם ברכות יעטה בבריאות הגוף, שם יצווה אדוני את הברכה, חיים עד העולם, ועוז הדר הברכות באכילת הפירות, יהיו לי מורות במעיין הברכות, צדיק חי העולמים ונראתה קשת, שש ומתפעל בגוונים שלו, ומשם נשפע עלינו שפע רצון ורחמים, למחול ולסלוח עוונותינו ואשמתנו אשר נוענו ואשר חטאנו, והיינו מרשיעי ברית, ופגמנו בפני צדיק חי העולמים, ומנענו רביבי השפעתו, נשחטו כל מקורות וישוב עתה הכל לאיתנו הראשון, ותשב באיתן קשתו, כי אתה תברך צדיק אדוני קצינה רצון תעטרהו, וכל הניצוצות שנתפזרו על ידינו, על ידי אבותינו בעוון אדם הראשון, אשר חטא ופירות האילן, אתה ישוב להתקלל בעוז הדר עץ החיים, ויעשה מהם כל רע בכוח שמחה הגדול היוצא מפסוק חי בעל ויקיינו, וישוב הכל איתנו הראשון ולא יידח ממנו נידח, כי אתה אדוני לבדך מקבץ את חיי ישראל, ובכן את צמאת אוויר עבדך מלאת תצמיח ויקרנו אותנו בישועתך, ויד אדוני כל העולם כולו ותחת הנעצוס יעלה בראשו ותחת הסרפד, יעלה הדס ויעל אדוני לשם לאות עולם, לא יקרב פיסת בר, פרד וראש הרים, ירש כלבנון פריו ויציץ מאיר כעשב הארץ, אז ינועץ היער, ועץ השדה נצא ענף ועשה פרי דבר יום ביומו, ולקחתם מנשית כל פרי אדמה להביא ביקורים לפני מזבח אדוני, להלל ותודות לאדוני אלוהינו, ולכתוב לבית ישראל לשמשום למדבר וצייה ותגל ערבה ותפרח כבחצלת פרוח תפרח ותגל כילת פרנן כבוד הלבנון ניתן לה, הדר הכרמל והשרון הם העירו לכבוד אדוני הדר אלוהינו, במהרה בימינו אמן, עשה למען שמך, עשה למען חסדך, עשה למען טוב ימינך, עשה למען תורתך, יהודתו מפי בגיון בפניך אדוני צור וגואלי, והנה אדוני אלוהינו עלינו מעשה ידינו כהנה עלינו, ומעשה ידינו כהנהו. Okay, everybody, that is done for the reading part. Again, a lot shorter version than what we would normally do. This evening before Arvit in synagogue, I gave a little rundown of the history of tonight's Seder. It wasn't too long ago. It was recorded, and I'll post it Be'ezrat Hashem following this Seder, where after the Divrei Torah at the end. So it's like a two-part Divrei Torah. You'll hear part two during this Seder, and you can feel free to listen to part one. It's the history of where this Seder came from and why, in fact, it wasn't coded as halacha in Shulchan Aruch. We spoke about that earlier. Without further ado, we are going to begin the Seder. The Seder follows the order of the Shiv'a Minim, the 7 fruits / grains of Eretz Israel, and begins with Chita. Chita is the first one, and it is a mezonot. So on your platter, if you were zocher to get a platter, you have there a little cake or anything mezonot that you can use to say the beracha boreh minei mezonot. Again, if you have your little sponge cake, you can use that. If you have a cracker, you can use that. And the idea is to have your family join with you and say a beracha as well. And that's how we're going to begin. So I'm going to take a little piece of cake, and you do as well. And I'll give to my family, and we'll recite the beracha.
I don't like this cake.
My son says he doesn't like the cake without even trying the cake. But it's okay. Anybody want to try the cake? No? I guess I'm the only one trying the cake in the house. All right. There you go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei mezonot.
Amen. Amen.
We'll allow people to give a minute for people to say the mezonot, and we'll move on to the next min. Okay. Again, I'm sharing the screen with everybody in case you don't have a copy for yourself. If you're just joining us, I did put a link on this in the chat. Again, I'm sharing the screen so you can see exactly where we are. And we have the berachot in front of you that you can read. So at this time, is there anybody that has not had a mezonot? Again, you can use anything that's around you, a cracker of whatever sort, cake, donuts, it's all good. Okay. The next thing that we are going to eat tonight, the fan favorite, the olives. All right, the olives. So you'll have some olives in your tray. Again, I'll say this, I'll crack the same joke as I did last year. What's Moroccans without olives? We have olives here for everybody. All right. One's got an olive. All right. Okay, so before we say the beracha on olives, let's do the following. Once I say a ha'etz on this olive, I can no longer say another ha'etz on the other fruits that are next to us. So we want to give a chance for a bracha of ha'etz to be recited on every fruit. That would require some people to wait a little bit before they eat their fruit. So if you're okay with that and you would like to recite a bracha on an upcoming fruit, you can use the raise hand button, or you can call out and say, yeah, sure, I don't mind, and we'll do it that way. And so this way we can get the proper kavod and respect for each of the fruits that we're going to eat this evening. And again, I'm going to speak actually more about this in the Divrei Torah at the end, and the significance of this. So I'm going to begin with the olive, and here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'etz.
Amen.
Okay.
Kind of sweet.
Kind of sweet or sour? Okay.
Not sour for me.
No?
Sweet.
Okay. I bet some people might argue that next time we'll just bring a tray of olives. JC, let's do that next year. Just a tray of olives, different olives, and I think people will be very happy. And memo to my Uncle Jimmy. Next year, a tray of olives. And that's how we're going to go. The Moroccans will be in Gan Eden with the Zetim. Okay. Moving on is the Tamar, the dates. My daughter Tamar is next to me. And we are going to now eat the next fruit of the Shiva Minim. And I'm going to call out on anybody that wants to volunteer and say a beracha on the date. again, maybe you can use the raise hand button, or someone just want to go and read it out. By all means, we'll do that and then we'll enjoy the date. Anybody over there want to do it? Gotta unmute yourself first. If anybody wants to say the beracha. I got Ben Ohana, Hazaku Baruch Ben. Go ahead.
This is for the date, right?
Yeah, just a Borei Peri Ha'etz. Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'etz.
Amen. Hazak.
Puppy,
You want to try dates?
no.
My daughter Tamar doesn't want to eat the Tamar. No, dates? You want to eat?
No.
No.
Puppy, I thought we already said that.
You're going to say that. That's on each one of the items. You want to have? There we go.
Puppy, I need. Me pescado.
Okay. Tzaddik katamar ifrah. Tamar represents the tzaddikim. This past week had a lot of allusions to the date. For those that paid attention in the parasha and in the haftarah, in fact, that there was the palm trees that were encountered by Moshe and Bnei Israel, the palm trees, the temarim, and probably more importantly was the story of Deborah. We read the haftarah of the story of Deborah, and Deborah sat under a palm tree, Tomer Deborah, and so there's a lot of allusions to the palm tree, to the dates that we just had this past parasha. Okay, moving on to our next food, and I just want to give a little heads up because after the grapes, we're gonna have some wine. So after the grapes, we'll maybe give a minute or two for people to prepare their white wine. You're gonna need red wine and white wine today. If you don't have red wine, then you can always use grape juice as well. So just be prepared for that. Okay, I'm gonna ask the kahal if anybody wants to say a beracha on grapes or raisins. On your tray, you probably have raisins. That is fine, it is still a grape. And if anybody wants to say a beracha borei peri ha'etz on the raisins or grapes, raise your hand, or feel free to call out and recite the beracha.
So good. I like candy.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'etz.
Amen.
Amen.
Hazak. Hazak. Enjoy the raisins.
I don't like
What?
You know what? The raisins are delicious.
the grapes.
You want to try them?
I did once.
You tried one? You want to try the raisins? They're yummy. Yummy.
Have a raisin.
Adonai Eloheinu borei peri ha'etz.
Okay. All right. Next, we're at number 5 now. Again, sharing the screen here with you. You can follow along with me. And we are going to ask you to take some white wine. So you can use whatever white wine rocks your boat. It could be the Bartenura. It could be Chardonnay, like I have over here. It could be some champagne. Maybe you're celebrating a birthday or anniversary. Whatever's all good. So we're gonna pour some white wine here. Again, we'll wait a little bit for people maybe that have to open up their bottle. And people that want to open up their bottle and pour their wine. Let's maybe we'll call on our Parnas, Avi Azuelos, to recite the Borei Peri Ha'gefen. Avi, you wanna do it?
Sure,
You ready? You got your wine?
I got my wine.
All
Oh,
right.
this is my wife's wine. This is mine.
Don't take your wife's wine. Don't
Oh,
take
wait.
your wife's wine.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafay.
Amen.
Amen. No.
No one want to try some wine?
No.
No?
No, I don't
Okay,
like
let's try
wine.
some wine.
You know I don't like wine.
Okay.
Puppy, I already had
Another shout out to Laura Arosh and my uncle Jimmy in preparing these platters. It really saved me and probably you a lot of time going shopping and picking this stuff out in the supermarket. So Tizkula Mitzvot for both of you. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. Okay, we are on number 6, which is the te'ena, the figs. Any takers to say a beracha on the fig?
What's food?
We have a fig here. Any, no, this is a fig right here. This is your fig.
Just me.
Yeah, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I don't really like
All right.
Everyone did the ads, I guess.
If everyone, wait, I think I saw someone raise their hand there. Is that Mr. Ben Simon? I think Mr. Ben Simon, is that your hand raised? I think that's his hand raised. He's got his hand raised. Zab, you got to unmute yourself and say a bracha. I think his hand raised, or he's telling me to hold on a little bit.
Mute.
There you go. We can hear you now. You want to say a bracha?
Yes, say it.
Yeah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'etz.
Amen.
Amen.
Great.
On the fig.
No. I like the watermelon, but I still don't want it. Get the fig away from me.
Why? It's so good. It's so good.
Because you're an adult. You love everything. Puppy, you love
I love everything. I'm an adult, so I love everything.
It's true though.
Kids commentary.
This is a teenager.
Okay. Anyone did their figs? All right, moving on to the rimon. The rimon, the pomegranate. It is not Rosh Hashanah, but it is still one of our Shiva Minim. So you should have some pomegranate in your tray. We are number 7 on the paper. Again, is there anyone that has not said a bracha yet, by all means, we'll wait 20 seconds. And if we don't get any takers, then we'll just eat the pomegranate. That's how it goes. Feel free to just unmute yourself. I think the problem was that we had the olives first. Once you put the olives first, there's no Moroccan who's going to pass up on the olive. That's what it comes down to. Okay, so we'll just eat the rimon. You want pomegranate?
No. Just is
You
what
want
you,
pomegranate? No?
it's what you eat on Rosh Hashanah, Joseph.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, here's some pomegranate. All right. Number 8 is the etrog. As I'll speak about later, the etrog is a significant fruit, but not because it's one of the Shiva Minim. One of the reasons why we have the custom to eat etrog tonight is because according to one of the famous midrashim, this was the tree which Adam Harishon ate from, and we're here tonight to try to rectify that, but we'll talk about that more in depth later. I want to take also this opportunity to thank the numerous amount of people that dropped off etrogim at my house over the last few days. Chazaku Baruch. I don't know if I'm going to eat all of these etrog, whether it's the jam or the pieces of etrog, but they look delicious, and I promise to try them all. I will try them all, but really, really appreciate it. So we have the etrog, and if you don't have an etrog, then that's fine. You can skip that, and we'll catch up on the next one. Okay, so at this opportunity, we'll eat the etrog.
Rabbi David, for the one who never ate figs, they have to do shecheyanu.
If you never ate figs before,
No, I mean for the year.
yeah, then you should say a shechayanu on the fig. If it's something that you haven't eaten in your, yeah. Oh, this was a very good, this was a very tasty etrog.
Yeah, looks like
Okay,
it looks like honey.
it looks like honey. It's very sweet. It's very sweet.
It's sweet for you, but it's not.
It was a nice half a night. Okay,
Yay!
I think I finally got to a fruit where my kids might eat a little bit. The apples.
I will say the apple, please, Rabbi.
Oh,
Yaakov Medina.
of course. Yaakov, good to see you.
Okay, I will say the beracha of the apple, okay?
Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri ha'etz.
Amen. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind the Kahal Kadosh one more time that there is no opinion that believes or holds that it was the apple tree that Adam and Chava ate from. Wherever you heard that, pull it out of your brain, crunch it up, and throw it in the garbage. All right? So apples have a different significance to it, but it is not, according to any opinion, the apple tree which Adam and Chava ate from. I know mistakenly called the Adam's apple, a little lump in the throat. That is, don't know where that came from, but it's certainly not in our tradition. All right, let's go back to some more vino, some more wine. Okay, we're gonna add some more white wine. Okay, so let's add some more white wine.
The red one.
And we are at this point, we're going to mix in a little bit of red wine. Just a little bit to alter the color a little bit, right? You don't want to go 50-50 or anything, just a little bit to alter the color. So of course the white wine represents Rahamim. Anything white represents mercy, Kadosh Baruch Hu's attribute of mercy.
It looks like grape.
And the red represents that of Din, of judgment. We started off with mercy because only Kulo mercy, because that's what we want, and we want to Kadosh Baruch Hu to run this world with it. But as we go throughout the Seder, we understand that it's more mixed, and sometimes Kadosh Baruch Hu unfortunately has to instill some Din and some judgment. So that's the meaning of this. So again, if you don't have any red wine, you could use grape juice. Fulfills the same purpose. So just enough to tint the color. That's all you want. Okay, we already recited a beracha of Hagefen. So we're just going to drink this. L'chaim, everybody.
Hi.
Adonai Elohim borei peri hagefen.
But it looks like grape juice.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Can I try it?
Yeah, you could try it.
It doesn't taste good. Ew.
It's good. It's not bad, huh?
No.
Want to try?
It smells like wine. It looks like sweet. It looks like it's sweet, but it's not. It
Okay.
smells like. It smells like wine grape juice.
That's what it is.
I'm never trying that again, puppy.
All right. Everyone had their wine. Beautiful. Next up are a series of different nuts that we have. First up is the walnut. All right, the walnut. So here, guys, we'll try walnut. All nuts other than the peanut is ha'etz. So we're not reciting a new bracha yet.
Mortify.
Okay.
This is good.
These are the walnuts.
It smells bad.
No. Here.
Okay. Got more walnuts here. Yeah, definitely.
Here. And there. I think those are walnuts.
Okay. After the walnuts or the hazelnuts, I personally don't have hazelnuts next to me, but I do have cashews. So feel free to try the cashew nut in place of the hazelnut. No, you cannot use Nutella in place of the hazelnut. You might be thinking of that. No. If you want to take a spoon of Nutella just for fun, there's nothing wrong with enjoying Nutella. Go ahead, it's fine.
I have, it's so many of them.
All right, so after the hazelnuts or the cashews, we can say we can eat the almonds. Also notice there are pecans in here, so you can also say a pecan. You can also eat the pecan. Well, almonds is next. We are number 13. No more almonds.
It's not in here, chocolate covered.
It looks like there's some chocolate covered almonds there on the tray. Okay.
What are you doing? I'm not hungry.
Is there anybody on this chat that has a carib? No one has a carib?
Nope.
Okay. So we'll jump over the carib. We'll go to pears. I tried to order some pears before, but couldn't get here. So I don't have any pears. But let's take this moment to eat some. Well, I got the almond stuck in the throat. Everybody knows that feeling. I see some people cutting up pears, so Chazak.
Oh, almonds. They're my nieces.
All right, moving on to number 16.
Pears.
Are you eating the pears? Okay, Chazak, that's 15, but we're going to go on to number 16. More yain. So a glass of wine now, half white and half red. So let's try to get some equal amounts here. So a little bit more red this time. And all this wine consumption is good. It's all good. Don't worry. I promise you it's all going to be good, especially when you have to wake up tomorrow morning to shovel your driveway. That would be fantastic. In fact, maybe video yourself shoveling at 7 in the morning before going to work. We Toronto, if you're joining us here from Toronto, as most of you probably are, we are expecting quite a large snowfall this evening and tomorrow morning. But we're ready for that. Okay, so everyone got their half wine, a little darker this time. People don't even wait, they just chug. All right, beautiful, amazing. Wonderful. Hey, that was a pretty good mix of that. I have to be honest. That combination of red and white really tasted good. Better than the quarter red, 3/4 white. I like that. That was nice. Or it could just be too much wine, and that's for a different story. All right. Berries. I have in front of me some blueberries. I have some blueberries, but don't take a strawberry, because a strawberry is borei peri adama. So don't take a strawberry, but if you have a blueberry of what sort, or a blackberry, and you can say borei peri ha'etz on it.
No, I don't have.
That's good. All right, so we're still on the ha'etz. We haven't reached the adama yet. That would be next. Mm-hmm.
They're tasty.
I got a sour one.
You did? They're very healthy.
Okay. Fine. Number 18 are the peanuts, and the peanuts is a borei peri adama. So this is going to cover any other adama that you have. You probably have a banana on your tray, but we're not going to do the banana yet. We're going to save the adama on the peanut. Now, of course, if you are allergic to peanut, don't eat the peanut. All right. You can eat the banana. Save the adama on the banana. So yeah, keep that in mind. This is not a nut-free Zoom session. All right. All right. Anybody want to say the bracha borei peri adama on the peanut? Any takers? Any takers? Let's get somebody. I don't know. Raise your hand. I'm trying to.
I can do it.
Okay, Mr. Hayon, bechavod.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
Amen.
Papa, do you want?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's not.
Is that one?
Okay. Peanuts were amazing. I'm gonna have a few more.
Yeah, they are good. Here, Jamal. Chew them well.
I got now peanuts stuck down my throat. Okay. It's hard to conduct the Zoom Seder when we got all this dry nuts the bottom of the throat. Okay. Our last official wine, it doesn't mean that you cannot drink later on as well. Our last official wine is going to be lots of red and a little bit of white. So let's just add some red here. Okay. So lots of red and a little bit of white. It's majority red. That's what we have right now, majority red. And we'll drink this. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Oh wait, still in the throat.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they sour. They're not doing another peanut, right? I don't know. You need to do another peanut butter.
All right. I'm going to just open up the form a little bit here to have people smooth around. At this point, we can have any other fruit that you have next to you. You got the bananas, you got the peaches. Feel free to unmute. We got some mangoes, apricots. Say hi to one another. I see some people in Miami. I wonder how you're doing, Miami friends. Miami friends, Chazaku Baruch for escaping the Canadian locura. But it's good to see you, even though you're a few hours. I see some Lakewood friends over there. Yehuda Zulai, good to see you over there. And Ovadia, good to see everybody.
Yeah. Already say hi.
Ovadia, how are you, my friend?
He's asking, how are
I
you?
think we're gonna say hi to Ovadia. Hi, Ovadia.
Hi.
What's up?
Look at him. Lakewood proud. Lakewood proud.
Toronto proud.
Again, feel free to partake in all the other fruits and vegetables, well, not vegetables, but etz and adama that you have.
Blueberries are very healthy for the healthy one.
Oh, got the peach?
She likes the blueberries.
Take the blueberries.
What she likes.
I keep on getting sour ones.
There's nothing more entertaining than watching a bunch of people eat on Zoom.
Rabbi,
Rabbi,
is beer and
nectarine,
whiskey
okay?
considered a fruit, Rabbi?
Nectarine, Rabbi.
Yeah, for sure. Do it all.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. Aaron, next year I'm going to put scotch on the list. We're going to have a nice Johnny Walker on the... No?
Said that sounds great.
Johnny Walker.
For him. He's a black
Johnny
label
Walker,
guy.
that's the backup plan.
He's
That's
a black
plan B.
label guy.
Plan A, we'll
Aaron,
figure.
I have a lot of extra black label for you if you want.
Rabbi, he tried to influence the Suda tonight, but
Yeah?
he tried being the keyword.
No, it was amazing. By the way, very, very well done, Jimmy and everybody else involved.
Yeah, you
Just
was sold
amazing
out.
platter.
You was
This is
sold out.
absolutely amazing. Well done.
You was sold out in an hour and a half. You put
Incroyable.
the whiskey is going to be sold out in 10 minutes.
Hey, voila. C'est ça qui manquait. That's what I was thinking. You know, I was like, look, how can we get faster turnover here? But we're good. Amazing. Kol hakavod.
Rabbi, there is no shakol.
There's none on the platter, but you can feel free to to say one if you would like to. We got a lot of fruits here.
No, can I say shakol on the scotch?
Go ahead, say Shako. Well, I'll say amen.
Do you need this one?
Wait a minute.
Me too.
I can tell you that that children and adults are not much different. As a teacher who teaches every day on Zoom, I can tell you that 20% of the students show their faces and 80% of the students keep their cameras off. And lo and behold, out of the 51 people online, I see, I don't know, 14 faces. And everybody else, they're hiding behind the screen. But that's all right. We still love you.
Does that make us the better? Does that make us the better students?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
Okay.
We try to enforce it.
This is what you drink.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I said to Adam, this is what you drink.
Yeah.
Cardu.
What do you have, Aaron? Okay, Rabbi, I'm going to say shakol. I got the report.
I was on nice. I had the 18. I had the 18 before the Zoom. Then I came for a little bit for the snack. I had some beers. Yeah, I'm on beer.
I'm finished my red label, so now I have
I'm
to
a
go.
Heineken, buddy.
Okay, Buchanan. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shakol niya b'dvaro.
Amen.
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 Chaim.
Adam, save me some.
L'chaim, l'chaim. Buchanan, 12 years.
Beautiful. That's nice.
L'chaim.
See?
Oren Dishi. Where's Oren Dishi just joined?
We did.
You're muted, Oren. You're muted. I can't hear you. You're still connecting to audio. I saw your wife was on before. I don't know if she's there.
Is there a football
Barney
game
is doing
going
a
on right now?
fantastic job enjoying the wine.
Oren was watching the football game. Were you watching the Steelers? Oren, were you watching the Steelers?
No. I'm drinking wine with my wife.
I love how you phrase that.
The best shalom bayit we ever had.
I love how you phrase that one.
The wine. Show them the wine. Let me see if I can turn the camera around.
The trick is you don't want to open up a good bottle for this. If you know you're going to mix it with wine. So I took the Kiddush wine. You know, everybody knows this Kiddush wine, right? The one we have at Abir Yaakov Kiddush. You know this stuff? That's what I use to mix. If you're going to mix it up, you might as well just use this.
Marnie, where's your glass?
Beautiful.
Chag Sameach, everyone. Chag Sameach. Beautiful event tonight.
Well done, buddy. Hike the man.
What's an event without Ari showing his hand sanitizer right in front of the camera? Hazaku Baruch, Ari. What can I say? Spread Torah, not gerbs. Okay. All right, fine. So maybe now we'll share some words of Torah for everybody. We'll mute everyone. Please don't get insulted that you were just muted. Oh, I have to pin myself, yeah? All right, there we go.
Hello? Hi.
All right. So like I mentioned at the beginning, I recorded a session that I'll post later that some divrei Torah that I gave between Mincha and Arvi tonight, a little bit about the history of the Seder.
No, I didn't.
Contrary to what you may think, this is not brought down in Shulchan Aruch or the Rambam anywhere. So, but I'll let you listen to that on your own time. What can we say? The Mishnah in Masechet Rosh Hashanah is very well known, but I'll repeat it for everybody that's here. The Mishnah goes on to describe 4 different Rosh Hashanahs. There are 4 different Rosh Hashanahs. There's Rosh Hashanah Lashanim, Layovlot, Lemaaser Behema. The first Mishnah of Masechet Rosh Hashanah describes all of it, and there's different dates throughout the year. We are most familiar with the one on Aleph Tishrei, which is our own Rosh Hashanah holiday, where people are judged. But then the Mishnah says that according to Bet Shammai, the first of Shevat is the new year for the trees. And Bet Hillel says it is on the 15th. Tonight is the 15th of Shevat. Almost always we follow the opinion of Bet Hillel, and that's why we celebrate Tu Bishvat on Tu Bishvat, Tet Vav Shevat, on the 15th of Shevat. And the Gemara on this Mishnah poses a question. The Gemara asks, why is this day chosen? What's special about this day, the 15th of Shevat, as the Rosh Hashanah? And the Gemara answers that at this time of the year, most of the rain has actually fallen in the land of Israel. Most of the rain has fallen in the land of Israel. In fact, my father was just showing me today that Israel is experiencing some very, very heavy flooding in some of the cities. And some of the videos were quite shocking to see, like cars totally immersed in water. So by this point of the rainy season, Israel has experienced most of the rains. So what? So what if they've experienced most of the rains? What does that have to do with the new year for the trees? So Rashi on this Gemara explains that at this time, the sap of the tree rises in the tree inside and allows the tree to produce new fruit. Our holy books describe the deep significance with regards to this Rosh Hashanah and this essential sap. What I'm about to say tonight was written by the holy Tosha Rebbe, the great tzaddik who lived in Montreal. It's buried in Montreal. And I saw this written in one of his Sepharim. If you pay attention to the Mishnah doesn't write that on the 15th of Shevat, it is a Rosh Hashanah la'ilanot, for the trees in plural, although that's how the song goes, but that's not how the Mishnah writes it. It states Rosh Hashanah la'ilan. La'ilan is singular, and it alludes to the tree of knowledge, the tree, the Etz Hadat, that Adam Harishon ate from. And on this day, on Tu Bishvat, there is a special power that is brought to the world to atone for this sin that Adam and Chava committed, and it cleanses the stain that actually still penetrates the earth and every single Jew living on earth. You see, when Adam Harishon ate from the tree, he created an evil mixture, this mixture of good and evil that spread itself throughout all of creation. And it's only until Mashiach arrives, b'meira b'yameinu, that mixture of good and evil will be eradicated. And therefore, every single day of our lives, today, on Tu Bishvat 5782, January 16th, 2022. Every single day. It's our job to make that distinction, to discern between the good and the evil and separate the two. Every food that we eat, every inanimate object that we come upon, every plant and life force that HaKadosh Baruch Hu provided for mankind to use, it's for us to draw out the good from the bad and to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with it. Every day on earth, we have this mission. And the moment that that purpose is fulfilled, then the tikkun, the rectification, will be complete. This is why the tzaddikim are constantly unified with God, because they are constantly striving to determine how they can take absolutely everything around them, every object that is physical, and raise that object to levels of holiness that are godly, drawing out the spiritual from the physical. And they would do that through different sodot and secrets. They would mumble holy names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. These are levels of Kedusha that we're just not used to, but they are. It is said of the great Jose Lublin, who lived in Lublin, Poland, one of the great tzaddikim in the last couple of centuries, that he was so immersed in his Sepharim, in his holy books when he was studying, that any time someone called him to speak to him, before he lifted his eyes and benefited from what he was about to see physically, whether it was a person or the things around him, he would recite one of the holy names of God. This was the Jose Lublin. So now what does this mean for us? How are we, the non-tzaddikim, the benonim, how are we able to rectify this? And the answer is, says the Tosha Rebbe, with what's called a koach hadat, a strength, the power of knowledge, a knowledge that can only arrive when man doesn't engage in the material aspects of this world for his own pleasure and for his own benefit. Because when I do that, all I'm doing is I'm imitating the animal who doesn't have da'at. But when a person performs his avodat Hashem, his service of God with proper da'at, the proper mindset, yes, he can easily distinguish between the good and the bad, between the two opposites. By the way, this is the reason why the beracha of Havdalah on Motzei Shabbat, the paragraph of Atah Honantanu, which distinguishes between Kodesh and Hol, Hamavdil ben Kodesh lechol, the holy and the mundane. This is the reason why this blessing is found in the bracha of Honen Hadat, in the first blessing of knowledge. This is the reason why knowledge is the first out of the 13 blessings where we ask God for whatever we need. Because if we merit to have that da'at, that knowledge, then now we can engage in life in a much more impactful and meaningful way. We can ask for things with a strong belief that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will provide them for us. Say the Chachamim, what day of the year do we receive this koach hadat? When do we receive this power of knowledge? The Chachamim tell us on Tu Bishvat, on the 15th of Shevat, because it's on this day that the fruits begin the process of growing through the sap that is rising inside the tree. The sap is the force that allows the tree to produce. It's what gives the tree life. And so too, the koach hadat is what keeps man going and allows us to produce. Because man is like a tree. Ki ha'adam Eitz HaSadeh. And through this power of knowledge, we are able to separate the good and the bad from everything that we do. This is the deeper meaning of the Mishnah. On this day, the 15th of Shevat, is Rosh Hashanah of the Ilan. On this day, the tree of knowledge merited to come to rectification because mankind has been showered with an amazing force to rectify that sin of Adam and Hava. Tonight, we have the custom to taste different types of fruit because through every single blessing that we say on the fruit, every beracha that we say with kavanah, with concentration, the beracha that we recited before the consumption of the fruit, and the beracha that we're soon going to recite afterwards, the beracha charona, with each recital, we are rectifying each one of those fruits. And we are drawing out the positive energy, the holy energy that is embedded inside of it. Of Chaim Vital writes in the name of his rabbi, the great Ari Kadosh, something unbelievable and incredible. Look what he writes. The way for man to achieve and reach a level of Ruach HaKodesh. I'm going to stop right here. Ruach HaKodesh. Ruach HaKodesh was reserved for the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's. That was reserved for the Ari. That was reserved for the Baba Salis. Ruach HaKodesh. The Ari is telling us a secret. You want to reach a level of Ruach HaKodesh. How do you do it? He says, through the Birkot HaNehenin B'Kavanah. Any blessing on something that you are going to benefit and enjoy and derive pleasure from. Every beracha that you say on food, your mezonot, your ha'etz, your ha'adama, your hagefen, your shehakol, your hamotzi, a blessing that you're going to derive pleasure from. When you say it with kavanah, you will be zocheh to levels of Ruach HaKodesh. Why is that the case? Because through that blessing, you are drawing from the good, you are drawing the good from the bad. The food becomes totally spiritual, so that now when it enters your body, it can annul the coarse material inside your body and brings your entire self to complete spirituality. This is why, like I mentioned, we have a custom tonight to eat the etrog, because according to the Midrash Rabbah, the tree where Adam Arishon ate from was an etrog tree. We say, let the fruit clean the mess of the tree. The Gemara in Masechet Berachot, Daf Lamed Hey Amud Bet, tells us that anyone who eats without a beracha is like, God forbid, he robs HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Knesset Israel. Gozel me HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why is it so? Well, on a very simple level, simply, God's the one that gave us the food. Hazan et hakol. Masbi'a lechol chay rason. That's God's job. He provides sustenance and parnasah for each one of us. And we need to be thankful. We need to bless him. And when we don't, then it's being ungrateful and we're stealing from him. That's a very simple level of that Gemara. But on a deeper level, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is standing and he's waiting for the sin of the Etz Hada'ah to be rectified. Because the final redemption, the Geulah Shelema, is dependent on it. This rectification, this tikkun, will be realized through the blessings that a person makes in this world on things that he derives pleasure from, like food and drink. So if a person eats and drinks without a beracha, it is, God forbid, pushing the Geulah away. And there is no greater robbery than that. So tonight and tomorrow, Tu Bishvat, the day when we bask in the unbelievable power of da'at, of knowledge, we need to take upon ourselves to be more meticulous when it comes to the blessings that we recite before the food that we consume, the food that we intake. Let us be careful with all the laws of the seudah, of the meal, the table that we set in front for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There are so many laws that we need to adhere to. The laws of Netilat Yadayim in itself has so many. The vessel we use, the water we use, how to pour the water on our hands, how to raise our hands after washing, how to dry our hands. And then you get to the Hamosi, holding the bread with all 10 fingers, what to think about when reciting the Beracha. Each one of these laws, when a person fulfills them, he pieces together a large puzzle, which we call the puzzle of tikkun. We call this a tikkun. And if we are to be mindful of them the way that we should be, when we raise this food into a level of total kedusha, we are able to completely distinguish between the good and the bad. And that's how we bring total rectification that HaKadosh Baruch Hu and his Shekhinah wait patiently for every day. And that's how we can bring the ultimate Geula that will come to us. B'mera b'yamenu. Amen. All right. That was the Divrei Torah. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me go back to the view of we'll share the screen to recite the Beracha Harona. All right. So we had every single one. We had mezonot, yain, and fruit from the Shivat Minim. So we're going to recite the entire Beracha, followed by a Borei Nefashot as well. All right. I can recite it. I'll have you in mind. You can recite Amen, or you can recite it along with me. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Ala Mechia Ve'ala Kalkala, Ala Gefen Ve'al Peri HaGefen, Ala Ha'etz Ve'al Peri Ha'etz, Ve'al Tenuvat HaSadeh, Ve'al Eretz Chemda Tova Ruchava Shirasita Ve'inchata Labotenu, Le'echol Mipiria Ve'lisboa Mituva, Rachem Adonai Eloheinu Alenu, Ve'al Yisrael Amach, ועל ירושלים עירך, ועל הציון משכן כבודך, ועל מזבחך, ועל היכלך, ובני ירושלים עיר הקודש במהרה בימינו, והעלינו לתוכה, ושמחנו בבניינה, ונברכך עליה בקדושה ובטהרה, כי אתה טוב ומיטיב לכל, ונודה לך על הארץ ועל המחיה, ועל פרי הגפן, ועל הפירות. ברוך אתה אדוני על הארץ ועל המחיה, ועל פרי הגפן, ועל הפירות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא נפשות רבות וחסרונן על כל מה שבראת לחיות בהם נפש כל חי. ברוך חיי העולמים. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב, משה ואהרון דוד שלמה, וכל הקהילות הקדושות והטהורות, הוא יברך בכללם את כל הקהל הקדוש הזה, גדולים וקטנים, הם ובניהם ונשיהם ותלמידיהם וכל אשר להם. Marka de Alma, who yivarech Chon, Zakiat Chon, Vishma Bekatzot Chon.
That guy takes the ball away from the guy in the timeout.
Amen. B'Emat Adonai B'Sadchem, V'Yagen Ba'adchem, V'Yifros Sukat Shlomo Alechem, V'Yita Benechem Ava Ve'Achva, Shalom V'Reut, V'Yisalek Sinah Chinam Benechem, V'Yishmor HaGoyim Me'at Savarechem, V'Yikayem Bachem Mikach Shekatuv Adonai Elohei Avotechem Yosef Alechem Kachem 1000 פעמים, V'Yivarechechem Ka'asher Diber Lachem. וכן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן. All right, everyone.
Hazaku Baruch, Rabbi. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And we wish you a wonderful night, a week ahead. Take it easy tomorrow morning with the snow. Don't overdo it. But we're happy. Bye-bye, David. Good to see everybody, and we hope to see you in person. We welcome everybody this coming Shabbat. Come back to Bet Knesset. We want to see you. Yaseret HaDibrot this week. Parashat Yitro. We want to see you. Be there in person. Bezrat Hashem.
Hi, David. David, ¿cómo estás?
Lots of הצלחה, beracha.
Amen.
Kol maaseh
Amen.
yadechem.
Amen.
Thank you to all the volunteers that helped out and made this very possible.
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi. Well done.